This discussion is quite late na because we are already in week 13, okay, right now. So yeah, it's week 12 and we are going to discuss the theories in language and culture. So when we talk about theories, okay, these are some preconceptions, okay, preconceptions of people outside, okay, who are looking to the reasons as to why these things happen. Okay, theories are like that. However, theories are not fully, okay, are not fully accepted by everyone. Kaya nga theory lang siya. If it's accepted by everyone, therefore, it will be a law. Okay, it's called a law. But if not, it is a theory. Tapos, bago pa siya ma-prove, it first become a hypothesis. Okay? So now theories, kahit pa paano, there are evidences that had been given. However, some people are still confused if these theories are really manifested in every situation. Okay, so what theories are we going to discuss? Of course, in our subject, the language, culture, and society, we are talking about the relationship between the language and the culture. So here are our three objectives for today. First, we are going to determine the theories, as what I have said, differentiate linguistic determinism from linguistic relativity, and lastly will be about the theories about the society and the language learning. After we discuss that, we relate it to why or how this happened in our everyday lives. Okay? So, the first theory, wala na patumpik-tumpik pa. Yan, start na tayo. The Sapir-Whorf hypothesis. Sapir and Whorf are the two, okay, these two people collaborated in order to form this hypothesis or theory. So, it states that there are certain thoughts of an individual in one language that cannot be understood by those who live in other language. Do you believe in this? That when you cannot understand a certain language, okay, because you do not know their culture. If you are not familiar with the culture of that people, therefore it will be difficult for you to know the language of that or of those people. Okay? Second, states that the way people think is strongly affected by their native language. Paano daw tayo mag-isip is very related as to what language we are using. So, this Sapir-Whorf hypothesis is divided into two concepts. The first one is linguistic relativity. Remember, the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis talks about the relationship between the culture and the language, how our culture or how the language affects our way of thinking. Can you please read this three definition of linguistic relativity? Who wants to read this one? Anyone? Okay, Jacqueline.
Linguistic relativity. Cultural differences in thinking are accompanied by linguistic differences between cultures. People who speak different languages perceive and think about the world quite differently from one another. Language influences the perceptions and thoughts of people, thus affecting their behavior.
Okay, so our cultural differences, okay, the way we believe, the way we acquire the beliefs, attitudes are accompanied, okay, by the linguistic differences. Meaning, if we have this set of languages, therefore we have a different set of thinking. For example, look at this. This is a story of Liali. Okay? Liali has this severe epilepsy. Alam niyo naman yung epilepsy kapag na-atake, they have seizures, right? Now, in the culture of Liali, they do not know what epilepsy is. They do not have a term called epilepsy. Okay? They only know this term. like wag dam. Ayan lang yung tawag nila doon sa sakit ni Liali. They only discovered that it is epilepsy when they consulted in a Western medical doctors. Okay? Ngayon, bago sila magpa-consult doon sa mga Western, syempre doon muna sila sa locality nila. And the doctors, or maybe the people there, told them that, it's Kwagdam. And what is the meaning of Kwagdam? Kwagdam, the spirit catches you and you fall down. So you see that? Ayun yung definition nila. They do not know, wala silang idea about epilepsy because wala silang term or language for epileptic, but their term is Kwagdampeg. So, anong implication nun? Kung ayun yung definition nila. They thought that that being like epileptic, having those seizures, is lucky. Sabihin, maswerte ka kapag nagkaka-seizures ka. Kasi yung spirit daw, sinasalo ka, therefore, you have good fortune. Okay? Someone is catching you when you fall down. Diba? So, that's their perspective. They look at it in a good perspective. However, in reality, okay, when you discover that a person is epileptic, therefore you will say that, no, it's not really that good. Okay? It's they are having seizures. It is related with their health. They do not have a good well-being. Okay? So, that's the point. For those who are in Hmong culture, they think that being epileptic is good. However, in the Western, since they have this term, they believe that being epileptic is not good. Okay? So, that's how they perceive their the culture that they are in, because they do not have that term. Okay? Another, look at this. In this comic strip, okay? In this comic strip, I want someone to volunteer to read this comic strip. Anyone? Let's have a volunteer. Can you read this one? Nababasa ba? Or baka nahihirapan kayo magbasahan? Can I call Joyce? Ito si Joyce. Nababasa mo ba? Miss Arceo? I think Miss Arceo is not here with us. How about Mr. Vicente? Ayan, sige. Desiree, Miss Martin.
Pick up my dirty socks. Fetch me some chocolate. Hurry up, you! I look at it a different way. Harry, how dare you order Andrew like that? He's your uncle, and you're elder. I'm third in line for the throne, while he's only fourth. They're Action Man toys, sire.
Okay, thank you for that emotional and expressive. Thank you, Desiree, for that. Now, you look at that. That kid, okay, he is exposed, okay, with a culture that believes that there is a differences in their language. There is a differences with the fourth, okay, the third enthroned and the first enthroned or whatever. Because of that, it affected his or her his behavior towards his uncle. He doesn't believe, okay, he doesn't believe that even though it is an elder, which I should respect him, no. Because in his language, in his language, they have this form of, what do you call that? They have this form of, you respect the people depending on the throne you are in. Okay? And it is manifested in their language. Next. This one. There's these two girls. This is my friend, Teo. So they greeted. And then Teo suddenly comes in and glad to meet you. And then the girl, like a Chinese girl, like, did you just kiss me? So what's wrong with the comic strip? Or what can you infer from that comic strip? Anyone? Based on the culture with language. What can you infer from this comic strip? Can anyone please explain to me this one? What happened? There's like an Asian, and it looks like the man is Western. Yes, Justin.
Ma'am, for me po, both individuals are from different countries po. Kaya ang nangyari po, yung usual way of greeting po ng Chinese ay iba sa Western type of greeting. Kaya nung nagkakilala sila, and the way yung pag-approach nung Western guys sa Chinese girl is yung pagbeso-beso, parang nagkaroon ng conflict kasi hindi ganun yung way ng pag-greet ng mga Chinese people po. Kaya na-culture shock po siya, ganun.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, Justin. So, as you see, there's a culture shock. Why? Because for the Western, their language of saying hi to a person is like kissing, using their cheeks to touch someone else's cheeks. And it's natural. That's their culture, that's their language of saying hi. However, for the Chinese, maybe even us, Asians, we believe that we are so how they call this parang tawag dito mahihin, yeah, we're no but conventional, diba? And at the same time, we just say hi, not like doing this thing. Kaya nagulat tong si Asian. There is, okay, yes, it's already a common thing. There is a conflict as to what they believe. Correct, yeah, that's the term that I am looking for. Conservative. We are very conservative in nature because that's how we see the language, right? Okay. Any other examples about this? Like I already have this one. In English, we usually say, for example, the base. Okay, the base is broken. We will say mostly that Justin broke the vase. So you see the structure. Justin broke the vase. Kanino tayo nakafocus? Who broke the vase? Ayun yung focus natin. So meaning, ano may infer natin sa ugali? Westerns or the English speakers usually look at who is the one to blame. However, in other countries, they do not name that. They just say the vase is broken. So you see, they focus more on the on the action that is done rather than who to blame. So maybe yes, what happened? We can say that those culture do not look at who to blame. Their behavior is looking at the action. Pero sa Westerners, nakikita mo na yung belief nila or yung attitude nila, lagi silang naghahanap ng masisisi. Okay? So you see, that is linguistic relativity. Okay? We are looking at how the language shape our behavior. What is something unique about Filipino language? Sige nga. What is something unique about Filipino language that affected our belief, our culture as a Filipino? Anyone? When you think about that, what is something unique? People are, most of the time, people say, yes, Jacqueline. What's your
Yung
answer?
point opo po. Like, kahit nag-i-English na tayo, like, we always put point opo in our words. Kasi feeling natin, if we don't put point opo, we are disrespectful person. Ganun po.
Okay, that's correct. Do we have an English translation of po and opo? None. Judy Ann, another thoughts?
Ma'am, yung parang pagbigkas po, kunwari po yung pangalan po Joshua, ganon. Parang naapektuhan po nung pagbibigkas po natin ng language. Yung English po, yung meaning po niya.
Okay, yeah. We can include that. That is somehow unique with the Filipino. But then, as we look on, how do this language has an effect with our attitude? I see the answer of Mr. Ledesma about the nouns and the pronouns of Filipino. If the pronouns of Filipino, we do not have a counterpart, a specific counterpart for he, as in lalaki. Diba? Or she as in babae, we just say ikaw, siya. Okay? Right? Now, what can we infer from this? Okay? What can we infer from having a neutral? Okay? We have a neutral way of pronouns. Therefore, we can say that Filipino somehow accepted, okay, accepted that people are neutral. We do not really care about the gender as long as we can say that siya, ikaw, as long as we can say that it is an individual. Okay? So, with that form of language, our way of thinking is shaped. And that is linguistic relativity. Okay? Let's proceed with the second, which is linguistic determinism. How is it different with linguistic relativity? So, just to make it easier for you to make a differences, linguistic determinism tells us that with our language, it determines what can we know. Okay? It determines the extent of the knowledge that we can have. For example, if you're a Filipino, therefore, your extent of language is only like the culture about Filipino and anything around that. But if you know English and Filipino, therefore, your extent of knowledge will become bigger. Kasi dalawang language na yung alam mo. How about if it's three? Mas lalaki ng lalaki. The more language you acquire, the more knowledge that you will be able to know about this world. So that is linguistic determinism. It determines what you will know about specific things. Let's take this for example. I want to volunteer here. Can you tell me which among the four colors is different? Anyone? Which among the colors the odd? Okay, select the odd color out. Sige, Jacqueline. First, second, third, fourth, or is there a difference?
The third one, Mom, it's much darker than the other color, but it's almost the same, but it's darker than the other color.
Okay, thank you, Jacqueline. Berlin, how about you?
Ma'am, same lang po, yung third na circle po.
Berlin, may I ask you, do you have difficulty on selecting which is the different one?
Wala naman po. But,
Do you have a hard time?
But nakikita ko po kasi yung second po, parang light na ewan. Pero po mas dark po green eh. Ay, pangatlo. Ganun po.
Okay, yeah. Someone says, lugi sa color red. Actually, lugi talaga. Kasi nga, it's about color. Now, yes, I think most of us will agree that we have a bit of difficulty in determining which is the odd one out. Because actually, the correct answer there is that everyone is different. Okay? All of these colors are different. Okay? They do not have the same. And then you will react, Ma'am, bakit gano'n? Di ba? Pare-parehas. Parang naman pare-parehas lang naman. Nag-illusion lang ba tayo na pare-pareha siya? No. Because our language affected it. Why? Kapag sinabi ko, anong tawag ko sa first color? Siguro pwede siyang green or kaya light green. Ganun lang tayo, di ba? Ito, light green din o kaya green. Yan. Pwede dark ng konti, ganun lang. That's how we describe the color, right? However, in some cultures, they are very specific in terms of the color, how they will call, or the term of each color that they have. For example, this one is they call Dambu, this one is Zuzu, and a lot more. For example, this one is distinguished by English speaker. Kaya natin ma-distinguish yan. Kasi, different. However, this is the culture I am telling you. The Himba tribe. For each shade of color, they have a specific name. Ibig sabihin, they produce a language. Okay? They produce a word from the language they have with the different colors. Kahit kumonti ng na iba lang ng konti yung shade, may tinawag na sila na language about doon. And because of that, okay, because of the variety of words that they created from the colors, they are very good in terms of determining the colors given to them. And that is the example of linguistic determinism. It believes that if our language gives us this set of words, it takes us the capability of what we can know. Okay? So the Himba tribe are very good in terms of telling the colors. They do not have difficulty. Malalaman agad nila na, for example, I ask a Himba tribe to select the odd color out. They will tell me, Ma'am, no, everything, every color that you have given is different. Okay? So that's how it is. That's linguistic determinism. Another, this one is Hook Tayor. Okay, it's also a tribe. And they do not use the word left and right for directions. Hindi sila gumagamit ng left and right. Ma'am, what do they use? Well, in their language, they are very specific in terms of direction. They will say east, southeast, southwest, even when you move. Di ba? Ako ba kapag sinabi ko, halimbawa sa classroom, sabihin ko, Perlin, can you please move on the right part? You will say that. I will say that. But in this tribe, they will say, Perlin, can you please move in the east-west, in the northeast part of the classroom? That's how, di ba? They are very specific. Kahit yung pag-lean mo lang ng ganyan, meron din silang direction. Because of that, they are very good in terms of distinguishing what place they should go. Alam nila, magaling sila pagdating sa mga directions. Even their hello, yung pag-hello nila, halimbawa, nakita mo sila, they will not ask you like, what's up? Their translation of what's up is, where are you going? So, more likely, they focus on what? They focus on the direction. And that is linguistic determinism. Our thoughts, our knowledge, our ideas is mostly based from the language that we have. Meaning, okay, it is a theory, remember, it is just a theory. Meaning, kapag daw mas maraming language ang master mo, mas matalino ka. Maybe that's why Jose Rizal is very intelligent, right? Because he knows, I think, a lot of 9 languages, if I'm not mistaken. Okay? So, that is linguistic determinism. Linguistic relativity, a while ago, our language affected, okay, our what? Our language affected our behavior, our attitude. However, for linguistic determinism, our language affected what can we know about a certain thing. So, these two are different. Are we clear? Naintindihan po ba yung pinagkaiba ng dalawa? Do you have questions? Yes, Jacqueline. Okay. I guess naman ni Jacqueline. Okay. The second is ethnopoetics. So, ethnopoetics, what is it? It is a study of verbal arts, okay, wherein our language are primarily spoken. We discussed about that. Language is primarily spoken. And people started to create unique oral performances because of the language they are speaking. Remember, di ba, when we discuss about the spoken and written history, may mga chanting, oral literature, mostly ay oral. And in ethnopoetics, it is based on oral, okay? Or maybe a verbal way of language and culture. Speaking, singing, laments, praises, prayers, yan. Pero verbal can also be written na. Pinagkaiba lang naman ay verbal and non-verbal. Not the gestures. More likely, they focus on the spoken and the written chants, song, prayers, and prophecies. So, what does it say? What is this theory all about? Okay? So, there's this philosophy that no two languages are the same. Although, for example, Filipino use English language and American use English language. Although they use the same language, still, there is a differences that you can see, right? Di ba nga sabi kanina, yung English ng mga Filipino, more on anong basa siyang bigkas. But in the other country, it's not like that, right? What they do is how they pronounce it is different as to how Filipinos pronounce it. That is why, okay, even in our history, okay, the ethnopoetics that are discovered, the chantings, the songs, the prophecies that are produced way back on the old times is also different. Okay, the worlds in which different society lives are distinct worlds. Let us see. Yung lalaki na doon sa Cherokee, di ba? Ang ginagawa niya, he produces a different sound. And even though he produces a different sound, still, di ba, iba pa rin yung sound na makukuha kapag nakuha yun ng ibang society. So, it's like that. The culture is distinct with the language. Methodology. So, paano naman nila inaral in terms of ethnopoetics? So, it is a handwritten dictation. Nauso na kasi yung mga writing formats. Prose, translated in order to reveal poetic features. So, yan, inanalyze nila isa-isa, like, how is it different? How is it the same with the culture? And they discovered in ethnopoetics that no languages are the same. Para siyang fingerprint. Yung language natin, it's like our own fingerprint, our identity. You remember sociolect and idiolect, di ba? Even though, di ba tayo, parehas na mga Pilipino naman tayo, mga English speakers tayo. Parehas naman tayo may pinag-aralan. However, we still have differences in terms of using the English language. And that is our idiolect. Okay? So that's the principle behind the ethnopoetics. It mostly focuses on the culture way back. Now, the third is the most interesting part, which is the oral gesture theory. Okay, by Sir Richard and Paget. Now, it reveals that people, okay, if the ethnopoetics focus on the verbal, the oral gesture most probably focus on the gesture or the non-verbals. Sinasabi na we are not really primarily spoken individuals. Ang una daw natin na-discover ay yung mga gestures natin. Okay? The evolution of sound is connected with our gesture. Nagawa daw yung mga sounds, nagkaroon daw ng mga words. It is because of the gesture that is produced. Okay? So let's see. If you use this gesture, what does it mean? Let's see. It's like pointing. You're pointing your finger like that. Ano ibig sabihin ng gesture na yan? Kapag ikaw, huwag kang ginaganyan. Okay, that's correct, Camila. Don't do that. Like, you're prohibiting the person to do the action. How about this one? Ganyan. Okay, yung number 1 kanina, it's reprimanding. That's correct also. How about this one? What does it mean? Okay, correct. It's money. Okay, we are referring to money. This one. Yes, the okay sign. Yes, pwede rin. Okay. Correct. Pwede rin yan. How about this one, the third? Good job. Yes, correct. Delicious. We can also say that. Nice. And everything's okay. How about this one? It's like your mouth is pouting like that. No. Diba? Alam na natin yan. Yung tayo magaling eh. Yung uso, diba? Whenever we, saan yung bag ko? Doon. Diba? Ganun yung pointing doon. Kaya nga siguro yung word na doon, baka lang pa. Kasi nga, diba, ang sabi sa oral gesture, diba, yung sabi sa oral gesture, yung mga sounds daw, Hindi mapakute. Feeling cute. Pwede, kung magpapout. But yeah, it's most likely the direction, okay? Like, you're pointing it to someone, okay? Kaya nga parang, pag sinabi niya yung word na doon, para kang naka-ano, di ba? Naka-pout, doon. Pwedeng ma-prove ng doon, yung word na doon, yung oral gesture theory, na yung oral gesture theory, yung mga words daw natin, di ba? Yung mga sounds daw natin, nabubuo dahil sa gesture na ginagawa. Okay, so that's how oral gesture is all about. Can you give, gusto lang tayo eh. Can you give me other example of gestures? Okay, can you give me other example? You can raise your hand kung may hirapan ka i-type kasi gesture yan, guys. Pwede rin mag-on-cam kayo, di ba? Think of other example of gestures that has a meaning. Anyone? Thumbs up. There's already a thumbs up. This Vicente. Wink. Okay, Edgy, what do we mean when you wink? Ano yan? Ibig sabihin niya, pag nag-wink, napupuwing ba? Fist bump. Okay. What do we mean by fist bump, Jacqueline? Ano yan? So, pag fist bump. Fist bump.
Yung mga pals po, ano sila parang hi hello nila ganun sa TV.
Okay. Hindi yan fist bump, Jacqueline. Yung sumasabog, bump yun. B-U-M-P. Any other? Ano pa ba? Okay, so, I think, yeah, the peace sign. Peace. Yeah, something like that. So, yeah, those are the gestures. Those are the gestures that we have, okay? Gestures that we include that, according to Sir Richard, oo. Ano yung sabihin ng oo? Sige nga, Mr. Maranan, kapag nag-oo ka, ano bang ibig sabihin nun? Actually, medyo hindi pa ako familiar. Mr. Maranan, Dexter.
Ma'am, hindi ko din po sure eh.
Paano ba yung oo?
Ma'am, hindi ko po din sure.
Ano ba yung sabihin ng oo?
Si ano ata ma'am, si Chuck ma'am, alam po ata ni Chayan.
Ano ibig sabihin ng oo? Sorry.
Ma'am, kalimutan ko na ma'am eh.
Sige, isang oo na lang. Isang oo na lang, J1.
Para umuungol mo, wag na ma'am. Ayun ma'am, para nagpapakit ma'am, nagpapakit.
Okay, nagpapakit. Okay. Nagpapaawa. Okay, pala yun. Please, okay, so it means please. Sa Pinas, okay. Galing bang, hindi ko sure to Japan ba? Hindi ko sure. Anime ba to? Japanese ba yung uwo na term? Gano'n na, sorry na, wag ka na ganito. Okay, so, ayun, it looks like also, when we say uwo, parang pouting din siya. So, yung mga expressions natin, it can create, okay, it can seductive yun. Okay. Thank you for that, Charlotte. Okay. So it means as sexual, parang you're asking for a sexual need. Okay. Thank you for that, Serge. Okay. So that's it. The way we pronounce a word, okay, is related, okay, with the gestures. Ayun yung theory. However, there are some criticisms about this oral gesture theory because they say that it can be possible for some words, but it will not be possible for others. For example, this one, my car is broken, so I took my wife's car to get to work. So, paano mo to gagawin gesture? My car, magdaganon ka ba ng car? No, di ba? Wala naman, hindi ka makakagawa ng gesture out of the, my car is broken, di ba? Paano yun? So, it's difficult. Kaya ayun yung criticisms. for this theory. Not everything can be turned, sign languages lang. But then, yung mga sign language, parang meron din siyang specific per naging specific part, di ba? So, it can't be like sign language lang. Kailangan yun talaga yung origin. Yes, magiging interpretive dance, pero it will be vague. Hindi natin pagigets. Ano ba sinasabi niyo po? Diba? So, that's it. Kahit ano pang i-action mo dyan, mahihirapan yung mag-i-interpret ano ba yung sinasabi mo. Okay, so that's the criticism about oral gesture. Okay, so that's the end of the discussion. Okay. So let's have a recap. What is the difference? First question, what is the difference between linguistic determinism to linguistic relativity? Anyone? Describe. What's the difference? Yes, Berlin.
Linguistic relativity po, it is how language shapes our behavior and attitudes. While linguistic determinism, the language teach us to know a certain things po, or we need to know a specific things po because of a specific language. Yun po.
Yes, that's correct, Perlin. You got it right. Jacqueline, do you have additional thoughts?
Ganun din po. Magkaiba lang ng pagpapaliwanag po.
Okay, that's correct. How about in ethnopoetics? What is the focus when we talk about ethnopoetics? Can you give me some terms that are related with ethnopoetics? What can we relate? What are the words? What are the things we can relate when we talk about ethnopoetics? May I call Kelsey? Just give me some specific terms about ethnopoetics. Ms. Aguilar? Anyone? How about Ms. Osorio? Ms. Lexi? Nagets ba yung ethnopoetics? If not, we will go back to that. Ayan.
Rituals,
Yes,
ma'am.
yes, Lexi?
Rituals po.
Okay, rituals. What about the rituals? Okay, correct, Camila. It's culture. Okay, the ethno-linguistic of the language itself. Okay, and lastly will be about the oral gesture. Okay, ayun lang yung natin discuss a while ago, where in our gesture, okay, is the origin of the written and spoken languages that we have right now. Okay, so that will be all, and thank you so much.